High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch Mexico's best.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
9 a.m. in the morning, she's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
There are a few figures in this town, in this state, and I imagine it's the same out everywhere, that are iconic, that if you saw them, you'll never forget them, and if you didn't, you've heard about them and been told stories as if you've seen them. That the legend grows bigger as time goes on. You see footage from years gone by, you see pictures, and maybe you've met the people in later years of life for them. And you've got a story of how they treated you or whatever, but you've heard a story. There's the few in every town, and certainly in Albuquerque and in New Mexico, there are a number of them, and Don Perkins is absolutely one of them. Don Perkins passed away yesterday. This town lost one of its greatest athletes ever and one of its kindest, most gentle men that we have known. Good morning to you. Happy Friday. It is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. We will get into sports. We will get into the games. We will get into Game 4. We will get into live and golf and football and everything else and softball last night and history made. But there was a man, and if you ever met Don Perkins, he made an impression on you. And I know those of you who are of the age who got to enjoy him play, the impression is indelible. Good morning, by the way. How you living?
What it do?
Yeah. Did you ever meet Don Perkins?
I never met him.
So, is that a fair description? Because I know you've heard of him. You've heard people speak of him. You've seen pictures. You've probably seen the video. You've read the numbers. That's a guy who is universally revered and loved. And in a town where sometimes we eat our own, that man was welcomed here in the 50s, made his home here, and I never heard anybody say a bad word about him.
Don Perkins is a Lobo legend. Unbelievable athletic career at UNM, what he accomplished in the NFL, and then what he did returning to Albuquerque, where he made home a kid from Waterloo, Iowa, that was brought to Albuquerque to play football, fell in love with the place, and it's an exceptional story of still the good that comes from collegiate athletics. Because once you put on that jersey, doesn't matter if you're born here, if you're raised here, you're representing the state. And for some people, it can change everything.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's really good. He fell in love with this place, and this place fell in love with him. And maybe because he played for the Cowboys. Would it have been different if he played for the Miami Dolphins or the New York Giants or the Minnesota Vikings? Maybe. But so many of you Lobo fans are Cowboy fans, and so you get a Lobo great who is a Cowboy great, who is in their Ring of Honor, went in with Dandy Don Meredith, one of the first few to ever go into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. And then he comes back and he helps out with police and youth, and he acts, and he's part of the community, and he's everywhere, and he's got a feeling that not every athlete has. I don't want to say not many, but not every. Not every great athlete, hell, not even every marginal athlete, has this feeling that I'm no better than you or anybody else, a reporter or a guy who drives a truck or anybody else. I'm just a guy who had a job, and you know what I do, and I want to learn about you. And I met Don early when I got here 20-something years ago at Channel 7. I got to meet him a number of times over there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we were tight, we were close, we were boys. We weren't. But every time I met Don Perkins, it was fascinating. And I think there's times, and you've all been there, where you're in a room or you're in a conversation with someone, and your role is to listen. You know what I mean? The stories that you hear, your role, or if you're smart enough to understand your role anyway, it's to listen and to hear what's being said and to learn. And I feel honored that I got to know, however briefly and however, I wouldn't say intimately, but the few times we just lost a great one. And JJ, again, you go back, we start talking the 50s, and hell, we're going to be in the 50s here soon again, right? I mean, we're almost in the 30s again. A guy who can still make that impact this many years later, there's something special about it. He's still up on the walls, he's still up on the buildings, and still revered. And so if you have Don Perkins stories, we welcome them today. The number is 505-246-0610. That's how you can get to us today. Area code 505-246-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Follow JJ on the Twitter. It's a great follow. You can converse with him there. On the Facebook, the OD in the AM. We are on television there. Well, like television, or on television on Comcast Channel 26. We're on the video medium. How about that? On your Facebook and
Like
on
the Live Tour.
yeah,
on Facebook.
kind of like that. That's how you get it. Live Tour.
Or Tour.
Right. A. Marie's producing on the radio side and Adrian on TV. Good morning to both of you. How you living over there? Get over there? Camouflage Friday? All right.
Camo Friday.
Yeah.
Camo Friday.
You got all dressed up
Interesting.
today. You got a big day today? Like,
Yeah, kind of.
all right. I mean, I just so you know, I noticed the difference.
I know when I get ready.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I know.
Well, you get ready to be noticed, right? I mean, there's a reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got a
wouldn't it
busy
be,
day.
Wouldn't it be rude if I didn't notice?
No.
Like if you got your hair all did and you didn't even notice. Can't even believe
That's
it.
true.
I'm just saying.
No, I appreciate it.
I noticed you look very
Very
nice
smart,
today,
man.
and, I don't know if that's right, but all right, we got Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. This is
woot.
a gigantic game. Steph Curry says, "Look, I'm going to play." I don't know that I thought there was ever a doubt that he was going to play. I'm going to tell you, I think he's more hurt than he's going to tell you. I think that's just what athletes do. I do believe he's hurt. I saw the play. You saw the play. It's a re-injury. You saw him grimace. That's a large man in Al Horford that came down on that foot. I do believe Steph Curry's injured. Now, what do you get out of him? No doubt he's going to play. What do you get out of him? And I will reiterate, and it's not rocket scientist. I'm not going deep. I'm not on a branch. They need Steph Curry to play well to have a chance to win.
Tonight's not about Steph Curry.
You don't think so?
Like, even a hobbled Steph Curry
Yeah.
is going to give you enough moments.
Okay.
Tonight's about Jordan Poole. Tonight's about Andrew Wiggins. It's even average Klay Thompson.
What about Draymond Green?
And that's where it's going to next.
Yeah.
Draymond Green. Because the way the Warriors acted after the last game is only going to fuel the fire. Where they're like, "Oh, that wasn't classy. How could you be saying
you mean
bleep
the F you
Green?"
Draymond?
Yeah. Like, so it's going to be that times 1,000
Yes.
at TD Garden
Yes.
tonight. And for Draymond Green, can he channel that energy into the best version of himself? Because it's going to be bleep Draymond night, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And he's got to figure out a way to be a successful basketball player amongst all that.
So we love to talk legacy, or at least people do. I don't know how much we love to do it. We do it a fair amount, and I think it's somewhat responsive as opposed to proactive, but we do it. And it's always about the greats, right? It's about Steph. What does this series mean for the long-lasting impact of Draymond Green? And I say that because Draymond has been considered core 3 of this, and I do say dynasty. If you've been there 6 out of 8 years and you've won 3 of them and maybe 4, that's relatively dynastic, certainly in today's day, right? In this day and age, that would be, I don't know how much more dynastic you're going to get in these days than that in any sport. And so if he's considered a core of that, and he is not good, I don't want to say terrible, but I don't know. I mean, how do you define the way he's played? Not good, bad.
Bad.
Okay.
Yes.
If he's consistently bad in the series, and we had this discussion yesterday, is he the reason? Nah, not the reason, but certainly a reason, and near the top of the list when you put reasons down, that they're down 2-1 as opposed to up 2-1. What's it mean for his long standing? You know, we had a conversation, I don't know, a few weeks ago. He's probably a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Can this sway him out?
It's going to ding it a little bit because always at the end when you're not playing at their highest level, in the moment, it's hard for people to take a step back and view your career as a whole differently than they might, 5-10 years down the road when you haven't been playing, and then you're just able to focus on all the good. I think for Draymond Green, he's only 32 years old, but he looks like...
Is that all he is 32? I was just
but he looks like not a LeBron 38 years old at times. Like because Draymond Green, his role in this team isn't to be an offensive weapon, but it's to be the big guy. It's to be the guy that can do all the little things for Golden State, and he hasn't been able to do that this series. And it's just when he's not rebounding, when he's not playing defense, it's magnified how limited he is as a player, even in his role for the Golden State Warriors.
So rebounding and defense or effort. I remember when I coached. I remember when I was being coached. What I was told and what I said was, look, and I believe this to be absolutely true, in basketball, you're going to have nights where you don't shoot well, but you control your defense. You control your rebounding. You control your effort. And Draymond's success, and I believe you're going to agree with me, in his career has been based on effort, not necessarily talent. Draymond has been a great defender and a very good rebounder and an instigator, and it's been on his effort and his drive. Now, I'm not telling you he's not driven. I'm not telling you he isn't giving you effort. I wonder if he's as hungry. And I would think he would be. But so that goes back to, you said he's 32, and I was looking that up. I'm like, is he done? Is he done being that guy? Can he be that guy? Was he better? And I think he was this year. Like, if we just watch a really dramatic drop-off in the last 2 weeks, because I think he's been decent. I'm not telling you great, but I think he's been impactful this year. Don't you?
He's had to have been for them to get to this moment.
My point. So what has happened? Is it in his head?
I think it's reality that in the NBA, effort's not going to let you out-rebound Robert Williams and Al Horford by yourself.
Well, it did. It did for a bunch of years, right? I mean, not those two guys, but other guys. It did.
But it's not just that. Like, there's a talent to it. Draymond Green's never been an explosive
That's right.
player.
That's 100% right.
So it magnifies the things that you just laid out,
Yeah.
about heart and effort. And he's had a really rough series. But when you're the five, when you're the lone big guy on the floor, it's going to be on you more than it's ever been, especially when Boston decides to go with those two forwards on the floor.
Yeah. All right. We got a lot to do today. We're going to get through this and Steph. LeBron wants to own a team. We could talk more about Don Perkins. We've got NBA stuff. National Football League signings. Damn thing is always turned up. OU, incredible. I don't know how much, if any, you watch softball, but that was a fun watch. Hockey was good last night. What the Lightning did, take a series lead, and the baseball was really interesting. How's your boy Tony La Russa doing today? Oof, that was odd, and he flat out 100% laid down and defended one of the most, I think, universally criticized moves I've seen in a long time. We'll get into that next. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Amory, and Adrienne. You've told me Tony La Russa's too old to manage. I don't know if he's too old to manage. He says he would have made that decision whenever. That decision? What was it? Next on the opening drive.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Celtics Warriors. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. All right, so Tony La Russa. How old's Tony La Russa? He's the manager of the Chicago White Sox. You told me when you just don't like him, right? You've never liked him, or you just don't like him because he's old and grumpy and he's old school and has held players. What was the big issue that?
Well, he had a player hit a grand slam.
Yeah.
And he didn't appreciate that.
His own player.
Because the game was over. They were up by a lot of runs. The other team was pitching a position player. So he should have just not swung at the baseball and either struck out or walked first base.
Yeah, he got angry at his own player.
This
for breaking the rules of baseball.
Yeah, and so he's bashing his own player.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't make any sense to me. And then just, Tony La Russa is buddies with the owner, and he's the White Sox manager. I get it. Reinsdorf, that's your team. You can do what you want. But I don't think Tony La Russa is making the White Sox any better.
Is he making them worse?
I think he's just kind of an anchor on this team that just continues to do weird things here. And
I guess I'd push back. What manager do you think is making their team better?
I think Tony La Russa is really inspiring the Chicago White Sox much, just kind of getting by. And you have a player like Tim Anderson outside of his dust up. He's a fiery guy. He wants to be fun, and I don't know if you can do that. Tony La Russa as your manager.
Okay. Tony La Russa ordered a intentional walk yesterday to Trey Turner. Situation was they're down 6-5. So it was 6-5 Dodgers. What were we, the fifth inning? Freddie Freeman's on first base. Ball in the dirt. Freddie Freeman goes to second base. Okay, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't want to get super technical with you on baseball, okay? But it's 1 and 2, and first base is opened. So La Russa ordered the intentional walk of the batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Trey Turner. Okay? His thought is there's an open base. Well, now I got the force. I got the double play in play. Next batter was Max Muncy. He goes yah. MF's everybody in the building on his way around the bases. Looking at Tony La Russa. And Muncy hits it. It's gone. So after the game, everybody's like, well, what are you doing, dude? There were 2 strikes. So fans were yelling, it's 2 strikes. And La Russa's 77 years old. Quote, is there some question about whether that was a good move or not? Do you know what Turner hits against left-handed pitching with 0-1 or 2 strikes? Do you know what Muncy hits with 2 strikes against a left-handed pitcher? Is that really a question? We had an open base, and Muncy happened to be the guy behind him. That's a better matchup. Somebody disagrees. That's the beauty of this game. They're welcome to it, but that wasn't a tough call. End quote. He said it was the right call. It just didn't work. Now, look, I'll buy 1,000,000 times. It's the right move if it works. I thought it was the right call. It didn't work. I love what ESPN Stats and Information Research does. Turner's .254 career hitter after a 1-2 count against a lefty. Like, go look up that. Here's your job. Go find out what Trey Turner hits against lefties when the count is 1-2. I mean, okay. This season he's .333 in those situations. Muncy, the guy who they pitched to, had 5 RBI in his return after missing 11 games. But he's hitting 150. Turner was hitting .303. So Muncy goes yard. MF's everybody around that. And the baseball world and the media loses its mind.
So why didn't you just walk him in the first place then?
Because the base wasn't open in the first place.
There's 2 outs.
I know. The base wasn't open in the first place.
Well, then
now he's setting up a force play at second. If
there's already a force play at second, there's do it at first.
Right, but then when there's
2 outs.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you wanted that same situation, what does it matter if the base is open or not?
Well, maybe
there's a runner on second.
Right, so
you walk him. There's a runner on first and second.
So maybe he's thinking he's not going to go yard, but a base hit isn't going to score the run, and then I'll get Muncy next, and I'll get out of the inning. Right? A base hit is just going to get Freeman over to third. It's not going to score the run. I get out of the inning.
So you're confident.
Look, I'm trying to get into his mind.
He's right. He was scared of a base hit, and thus.
He figured Muncy hitting $150.
Yeah, his first game back up.
We go after the guy, which, by the way, isn't absolutely as absurd as everybody's making it out to be. It just isn't.
You already got to a 1-2 count.
That's
runner gets to second, and you're like, oh, well, now he's going to get a hit.
Yeah.
Didn't think he could get a base hit
But
before.
again, a base hit with a guy on first base isn't going to hurt you. A base hit with a guy on second base is going to score a run. So, all right, let me put him on. I'll go after the next guy. We'll get him. I understand the train of thought. I don't necessarily agree with it, and especially with 2 outs. But I'm not going to lie, man. The media, the baseball media, the Twitterverse lost its ever-loving mind on this. Thinking and he's up there just going, I mean, what's even the issue? Like, what are you talking about? Why are we questioning this? You don't know baseball. I'm going to tell you, I know this is totally ridiculous. When I heard him talk about it, I saw his point of view. Now, I would have done it, and I don't think it was the right move, but I understand what he was saying. It's not just some wild, crazy, walk that guy, let's go get the next guy. The base was open. A base hit previously would have scored a run, so now let's set up a double play or set up a force play everywhere and get out of the inning. Yeah, a force play, and get out of the inning.
Still a force play with the dude on first.
Yeah, but when he went to second is when he walked him. He didn't walk him with the guy on first. Look, I wouldn't have done it either. You just think he's...
Well, where's the force play when the guy's on second and there's no runner on first?
That's why they put the runner
and then,
on first.
So you get it at third.
That's why they put the runner there. He
Most
didn't
of the time,
walk him when he was on
This is like
first.
old school guy that complains about analytics but then is overthinking the game of baseball.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably right. Yeah, I'll give you that.
At some point, even in a wild game, it ended up being an 11-9 game. So it was far from over.
Dodgers won 11-9.
At that point in time.
Yeah. That's not what lost in
You
the
have
game.
to let dudes play with 2 outs.
Sometimes, so you just got to play baseball, yeah. And he went left on left, and he got beat. Look, sometimes you make the right call by all the numbers, whether this was that or not, and it doesn't work, right? That's why the difference between managing or coaching by your gut or coaching by what the book tells you, there's a big difference. I want to get into the Angels, too. Snap the 14-game losing streak. How do you do that? Shohei.
I guess what just blows my mind is you're right. You know, it changes the count when a guy goes to second. But if you're that worried about a hit, why don't you just walk him in the first place?
Fair question. Totally fair question.
But now,
yeah. But see,
why don't you get to Muncy anyway?
Yeah.
If you're that worried about a hit from Trey.
But now it's 1-2, so let's go after him. But and the 0-2 pitch was in the dirt. So, but a hit, like a base hit to left field, is just going to get Freeman to third. It's not going to score a run. Now a base hit is going to score a run because the guy's in scoring position. So I kind of get the thought process. I mean, I wouldn't have done it. That's not how I would have managed. But he's a Hall of Fame baseball manager. I'm not. He's been to the World Series. He's a legend. And I'm just an idiot that questions stuff sometimes in a microphone. But my whole point is, once he explained it, there was part of me that went, all right.
Yeah, then you're just grounder, go to any base.
Yeah.
Muncy's first game back.
Yeah. So I don't think it was as outrageous as the world's making it out to be. I just don't. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Want your thoughts on the passing of Don Perkins? Absolutely. If you knew him, if you saw him play, want to hear that today. We'll get into the golf. I'll get you some updates as well. And when we get back, the Angels snap their streak. And how do you do that? Well, keep throwing Shohei out there because that may help you. How's your car looking? Dirty? Grimy? Dusty? Oh, yeah, I know. It gets that way. Inside, too, huh? It stinks. There's stuff everywhere. Do yourself a favor. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Have them come out and detail your vehicle. They'll get it spotless. Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims, the tires, everything. Detailing, not just cleaning your car. Look, you can clean your car. You can't do what they can. This is professional. This is like the day you took it off the lot, new, feeling clean, smells great. Oh, and they come to you. Wherever, whenever it's convenient, they come to you. You're at the office, they'll be out in the parking lot. You're at home, they can be in the driveway. When they're done, you go outside and it's like, wow, why didn't I do this before? Father's Day's next weekend, boys and girls. Looking for that great gift? They've got gift cards available online at otsdetailing.com. They also offer ceramic coating. Best way to keep your vehicle and protect your paint for years. Scratch removal, paint correction, and they offer a 10% discount to our military. The number is 505-859-2859, 859-2859, or book online at otsdetailing.com.
Construction on I.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar.
Angels had lost a team record 14 in a row, fired their manager, Joe Madden. How do you snap out of that? Shohei.
Pitch Shohei more.
100 pitches last night. Oh, and he hit a home run. Angels beat the Red Sox. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Come on in at 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610.
Pitch Shohei more. Snap losing streak.
Fred, you want to talk about the legend that was Don Perkins. Good morning to you.
Hey, guys. Hey, I do. The greatest year that he had was 59, and I still remember I was at a high school game. I think it was like the last game of the season, and we were playing Air Force, and of course they had beaten us a year before, 45-7, and they had a quarterback, and I know nobody will remember this guy's name probably because it's so far back, but Rich Mayo, and I don't know if you ever heard of that name. You probably didn't. You're still too young. But anyway, this guy was an All-American quarterback. You wouldn't believe this from Air Force. Why would they have a quarterback? If we always know they're a running team.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy threw for about 250, 300 yards or something like that against us in 58. And that was the year that we were 7-3. Marv Levy, who's in our Hall of Fame, had a really good year. But then in 59. He had an unbelievable year. He had a 79-yard run against Arizona. He had a 70-yard touchdown pass from George Freiberg from Albuquerque High School. That's where he played at, George Freiberg. And then in 59, we were huge underdogs, and we came back and won that game and upset. I think now, I know this is hard to believe, and I haven't looked it up, but I could have swore they were like number 10 in the country, or somewhere like that. Air Force was.
Beat them by a point.
And we beat them 28-27.
Yep.
What a huge game! He gained 126 yards.
3 touchdowns.
Back then they had UPI and AP. Of course, he was the UPI backfield of the week. Our team was. It was the AP named him the back of the week, and I mean, it was just a big deal for us, got to beat Air Force, which had killed us, and who was ranked in the country. But those are some of the
Fred,
highlights I still remember.
I opened the show, I said, and I yield to you because you've been here longer than me, and you're so intimately the landscape here. I said every community, and certainly this one, and I'm going to guess it's that way in most, has a few icons. It just they're bigger than, and whatever the area is. If you saw them play, you'll never forget. If you didn't see them play, you've heard about it and how great they are, and they carry themselves. There's something about their presence, and Don Perkins is one of the few and one of the biggest that we've had around here. Is that fair?
Oh, that's so fair. He was the nicest guy.
Yeah.
I just every time I saw him, it seemed like he was.
Yeah.
Always had time for you. Always, I loved his voice too. He had that deep toned voice, and I mean, I think everybody in town loved that guy, and we always will love that guy. And I'm sorry to see that he passed.
Yeah,
he passed away, but I just what a great individual.
And there was a presence to him,
people.
Fred. There was a presence. Yeah. He was this such a good-looking, the aura about him. He walked into a room, and you're like, if you didn't know who you're like, there's Don Perkins. But if you didn't know who he was, you wanted to, like, who is that guy? Like there was something. You hear that phrase all the time. Oh, when he walks into a room. I mean, this was absolute, right? He walked in. If you knew him, there's Don Perkins. If you didn't, who's that guy? So.
Oh yeah. No, right, you could just looking at him, seeing him. I mean, everybody flowed to him too. Everybody went to him all the time. He was just such a nice guy, and I'll never forget just the way he was here in town. He loved Albuquerque.
No doubt.
He loved, his family grew up here in Albuquerque. He just a great guy, and I'll never forget that those 2 years, because those are the two best years we probably had
Probably right.
here at UNM. And, of course, Marv Levy's in our Hall of Fame, and Don Perkins is in our Hall of Fame. I still remember when I was on the committee when we put Don Perkins in the Hall of Fame, and what a super nice guy. He loved that award and just treasured that thing, and just a great guy.
Fred, I needed that. Thank you for the call. It was great perspective.
Okay, guy.
Thank you. See you.
See ya.
That was really good. Really, really good. Yeah, there was something about Don Perkins. Hello, Dan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. First off, my condolences to the Perkins family, and I would like to thank them for sharing him with us in the community. He will never be forgotten. What a larger than life personality, and we're blessed to have him as a member of our community.
Yep.
And so then I say, well, who's on first and who's on second? And I just don't get MLB. You know, I'm not really hip to the whole thing. But, man, what a series on the NCAA softball.
You enjoyed
for
that,
those girls for those girls to win beat the cross-state rivals who were number one, and then to go and take the Longhorns out in fine fashion. Congratulations to those young ladies. I just love softball. You know that, Jeff. I coached it. My girls played it. I still watch it. That is a great game. Congratulations to them. Now, is it just me, or does Lefty look different?
He's got a little scruff on his beard.
Scruffy beard.
Yeah, and
he
there's
looks
a little.
like he's lost some weight.
Yeah.
He just looks different. The feel is different. Would you say it or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he took 4 months off, and he claims that it was a lot of mental stuff and worked on him. I don't know if he lost weight or not. I mean, he's got that 51-year-old dad bod going, which is good. There's a little gray in the beard, right? So it makes it look. I don't know if does that give you a little something more to it, to the look. His game looks the same.
He just looked a little. I don't know. He looked different. He looked stressed. Maybe it's just because I know that what he's going through, but I don't know. He just looked real different. Didn't look happy. Didn't look satisfied.
He's been through it.
Content.
Yeah, he's been through it.
So how many guys actually got suspended? Is it 15?
17, I think. Yeah, I think the number's 17.
Well, I'm happy because maybe now it opens up the door for Tiger Woods to come in and win one.
All right, Dan. Be well. No, enjoy the weekend. Maybe
Thanks,
it
guys.
does.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. Maybe Tiger could slip in, huh? Less competition. No Bryson, no Dustin, no Phillip. He's got to get healthy first. He's not playing next week in the U.S. Open. U.S. Open's going to be interesting next week. How do they pair guys? Do they pair just the live guys together? They put Rory with Bryson. How do you think? By the way, Rory's been the guy. I said this a couple of weeks ago. He's the voice of reason in golf right now.
He's laying it down,
right? They got to do what they got to do. If you make, and he said, if you make a decision based solely on money, it usually doesn't work. But hey, man, do what you got to do. I think the U.S. Open is going to be really interesting next week.
Yes, it will be.
505-246-0610. I'll get you a live update. If I can read the damn leaderboard. Who's winning? Charles Schwartzel?
I'm watching it too.
Are you?
The
Crushers are winning right now as a team. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Charles Schwartzel's winning. He's -4.
Yeah.
All right, there's your update. H-Dup's with him too. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, New Mexico strong since 1958. That's your home loan leader. They're built in the heart of Albuquerque. Kirtland Federal Credit Union's goal is to help New Mexicans achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship that's built on trust. Kirtland Federal Credit Union's mortgage team is 100% local. So what that means to you is your loan stays local. You'll never send a payment out of state. When you have a question, you'll reach out to talk to someone about your new home. You'll talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. Meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team and get started at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete details.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar.
95.9 FM and AM 610.
The Sports Animal.
Hunter Renfrow got paid by the Raiders. It's pay your receiver week. They're getting paid. Good for them. Opening drive, Jeff Sibbieta, J.J. Buck. Charles Schwartzel is your leader. Second round of the London stop of the Live Series. 505-246-0610. We are lamenting on the passing of the great Don Perkins, Lobo legend. And I go beyond Lobo legend. Lobo legend, Cowboy legend. And I told you at the top of the show, I think that, you know, this town, like most towns, have a few icons that there's just something special about them, and Don Perkins was one of them. Another former Lobo great, a Lobo legend in his own right, Ned James, who you hear frequently on this show, knows Don. And Ned, I appreciate you calling in this morning. I was hoping you would. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show. Just the passing of Don, my condolences to his family. Don had, and I was telling A. Marie how a lot of people don't realize this, but his nephew's son was the backup quarterback on the Super Bowl winning champion Los Angeles Rams, Bryce Perkins. And I coached the dad, Bruce, his nephew, at Arizona State. But what Don Perkins did for me and for us here at the University of New Mexico, a lot of people don't know. It just spans decades because he was the guy who coaches would send you to. He had an office at Johnson Gym, and kind of what I'm trying to emulate now and what Rocky had put into place, and using guys like Ronnie Wallace and Preston Denard as mentors to, young black student athletes that come to campus here from different parts of the country. They would send you to Don Perkins if they were having some sort of issue, some sort of cultural issue, and guys were trying to go back to Detroit or Chicago or L.A., Dallas. And, Don Perkins was the guy that would encourage us to embrace this community and to stay with the program that the coaches had, and to try to get our degrees and try to get an education. And Rocky kind of took that over, and Danny's trying to do the same thing. We kind of use former student athletes and guys like Ronnie and Preston were mentors for me when I was an athlete here. But Don Perkins was the guy that they all looked up to, and the guy who kind of the administration and athletics kind of went to as far as trying to kind of help some of the student athletes who were struggling with the different culture in New Mexico that was different from where they came from. And so Don, I went to see him up at the assisted living place because Bruce, I talked to Bruce, his nephew, and he would tell you stories about he and Mike Ditka playing on the All-Star. I mean, his Alzheimer's was there. He didn't have the short-term memory, but he would remember things from way back, and he would talk to me. I don't even think he remembered me, but he talked about how he and Mike Ditka played, because I coached with Mike in New Orleans, and how they were on the All-Star team together in college, and the college All-Stars. I guess they must have played against the pro guys or something, but he just had fond memories, and he just had, he was just really a genuinely like I think the last caller was saying how much of a kind person he was. He was just a genuinely kind human being, and so you really couldn't tell him no when he came into his office and you were trying to go home or you were having problems. He would really kind of make you feel like he was your uncle.
What was it about here?
Dad from back home.
What was it about here that made him come back here? I mean, he could have lived a life in Dallas like so many of the ex-players do. What was it about here that made him come back here and feel so comfortable?
It's the same thing that most pro guys, even myself being a coach there and Preston and some of those guys, your alma mater, you when you're an alumni, of a Lobo, you really, and I tell the kids this all the time on campus, I said, you really think it's just people here that care about you. There's people all over the country, all over the world that are looking at you guys every week. And when you're outside of Albuquerque, outside of New Mexico, you always yearn to be back at your alma mater. You know, it's just something about, you know, the practices, the coaches, just the camaraderie of your teammates when you're playing college football that in any college sport. I mean, even the young ladies in college, women's basketball and soccer and everything else, when you're tied to something and you're tied to a team, there's just something about, you know, wanting to be a part of that. And if you have that experience of sticking with it, and because it's hard to be a student athlete in college, and a lot of people talk about, oh, you could have a job or whatever, but you do have a job. You're practicing and you're playing, and you have to, you know, keep your grades up. And a lot of guys get homesick. You're from the West Coast, or you're from, you know, the South or the East, and you know, you just have to grow up. And a lot of people, those are memories that are fond for a lot of people, and a lot of people want to come back to that, and they want to give back because it meant so much to them, and a lot of people did so much for them, and like Don did a lot for a lot of student athletes. It wasn't always just the black student athletes either. I mean, you know, Coach Joe Lee Dunn would send any athlete he felt he had problems with to Don when he had his office over at Johnson Gym. And so, you know, it's just those kind of memories I have of Don, and I just think he was just a great asset to this community. And that's what happens a lot of times with student athletes who return back to their alma mater and just want to help and contribute to making their alma mater successful.
Man, I appreciate you spending some time this morning. Thank you. I think the perspective is great. The story is great, and certainly coming from you. And you've walked through a lot of the same steps and a lot of the same places that he did. And you're back here and giving back to this community that was so good to you, and you care about it. And I know how much Don meant to you and to so many in this community. So I appreciate the stories, man. It's good to hear you. Let's catch up.
Yes, thanks for having me on.
All right,
Good
thanks.
show, guys. Take care.
Ned James, former Lobo quarterback. I just, and you know Ned really well. That was a different tone in his voice right there now. You know? I mean, that was...
Don Perkins also was one of the first black players at the University of Mexico. Right. And you hear that from Ned, that foundation that he laid, and then the generations of student athletes that he helped after that.
All right, we'll go back to it. Ray wants to talk about Don Perkins. Want your thought? Or Don Perkins. Ray wants to talk about Don Perkins. I see Ray Perkins on there. That's a different dude. It's on my screen. Ray / Yeah. We'll do that. Keep coming as long as you want. Get into the NBA. And LeBron wants to own a team, not just a team, in Vegas. He should own the Cavaliers. He should buy it from, what's that dude's name? That'd be the transaction. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A. Marie, and Adrian. Thanks for being with us this morning. A 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business
Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck.
Well, on a Friday morning where New Mexico loses one of its legends, good morning to you. Don Perkins passed away yesterday, Lobo Cowboy legend, and really just a legend of a human being. If you've got a story on him, a thought, remembrance, we're here for you today. The area code 505-246-0610. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck, A-Marie, and Adrian. We got a bunch of emails coming in as well. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Learning a lot, too. You know, Ned James just called in and had his stories about Don Perkins and who he was, what he meant. And I think we're learning quite a bit as well, maybe those of you who didn't know him as intimately. Also tonight, we got the NBA Finals Game 4. Steph Curry says he will play. I don't think that was ever I don't know, JJ. I mean, did you ever think that there was a chance that he wouldn't play?
No.
And this was. You said something to me earlier, and I thought it was really interesting. You said this is not about Steph Curry, and I'm thinking it kind of is, because if he's not good, and I think he's more hurt than it leads on, then I think it kind of is. But you think it's about.
It's about the other four dudes on the floor. Yeah. As I think a hobbled Steph Curry is still going to give you enough moments to where he'll hit his threes, he'll have his outbursts, but it's going to be on the small game-to-game adjustments. Does Steve Kerr match Kayvon Looney with Robert Williams? Because right now the Warriors, you can go back and say, yeah, look what happened in Game 2. That's fantastic. But this is a game-to-game series, and right now the Warriors have a lot of questions when it comes to how do they survive on the interior? The athleticism on the perimeter is real. There's more guys that Boston is throwing on the floor that you can count on to get baskets than you can with the Golden State Warriors right now. So I'm looking at Andrew Wiggins. I'm looking at Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson, just to find a little bit of consistency. Doesn't hit 8 3-pointers, but can he be a threat off the dribble? Because maybe that's where Steph Curry's limited a bit in terms of his creation when he's attacking the rim. And then Draymond Green. Can you show up in a game and be a presence defensively and on the boards? Because this game is going to be even more intense than Game 3 was. And when you have the Warriors coming out, talking about the crowd, talking about what they were saying, that's advantage Boston, because it's going to be that much worse. Those chants are going to be coming and coming and coming. And at some point, you just can't be like, oh, stay classy. No, just go play basketball. That's how you stop stuff like that.
I got to be honest with you. This whole, I can't believe their chants thing. Like,
have you not heard your own fans at times?
Have you not heard fans today? I mean, it was just stunning to me. That was what we're whining about? With all due respect, it's Boston. I know it's not Boston Garden. What's the history of fans in Boston in the postseason? It's a tough place to play. They're brutal. They're harsh. They're right, everything. And so you got an F.U. Draymond? That's what the chant was? And, oh, we're just so stop it. Are we really appalled by that? Honestly. Is somebody really just so surprised? My kids are here. I can't believe my kid had to hear. And Draymond, and it's directed at that guy, and that's what we're complaining about?
And by the way, as Draymond dropped an expletive in his post-game press conference, his son is sitting right beside him.
When he said, I played like bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody asked him, would you play? How do you think you played? His little boy's sitting right there, and I played like bleep.
That's the last thing that Golden State needs to be worried about.
What are we talking about?
Because walk into any arena,
I'm just stunned that they brought, and that wasn't in response.
They're, bringing it up. Like, what do you think about the chance? It's playing a road game. We got to lock in. Do you know how you stop stuff like that? It's not being Kyrie Irving. It's not being Draymond Green. It's hitting the shot.
No.
It's winning the game.
Getting rebounds. Defending. Stop letting them blow to the basket. How many?
Let the fools be fools.
Yeah.
But when you start chirping back at them, you're just as foolish.
No, I can't agree with you more. I just, that was the biggest surprise to me. Not that they lost the game, not that Draymond was bad, not that, I mean, honestly, what's the biggest surprise? That after the game I had to sit there and listen to that mess, that's where they went? I'm sorry. You're 3-time champions. You've been in how many gyms? And the post game, that's what we're talking about. And JJ, was it in response to a question about what you think of the chance? I didn't think,
they were asked about it.
Okay, all right.
But when you start bringing up, oh, that's not classy, oh, how could you be saying that? Then it's just like, all right,
whatever.
Let me pull up all these videos of Warrior games in your fans, and then how does that look now?
So the answer is whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, the fans are fans. Fans don't affect us like that. I mean, they can say what they want to say. They, whatever.
Like and that's the different thing about that game too. When you're sitting there on that sidelines and you're 5 feet away from someone, and they're always
in your ear.
They feel that they're empowered to do whatever they want, and there's certain things that I'm just never going to be on board with that fans do because you have a ticket and you're a fan, there's certain areas that I think go beyond just trying to have it's a hostile environment. But when it's just bleep Draymond with the amount of talking that he's doing, y'all got to get over that.
You know those little plexiglass, like little back shields that come over the top at soccer games? You know, that's behind soccer benches. Do you think that'd be a good idea for basketball?
I don't think it would ever work because then it takes away prime.
Yeah, it obstructs view. Yeah,
$1 billion for.
Yeah, it obstructs view. I understand that, and I don't even know if it would weed out any of the comments that you hear, right? But I mean,
and social media is alive.
Well, social media is one thing. To read it on your phone is one thing. To hear it from some fool in live time is another, don't you think? I mean, to read it on social media later when you're thumbing through it on your phone, as opposed to being in the heat of the moment and some guy with a beer in his hand is chesty and calling you whatever he's calling you. I think there's a difference.
I remember when LeBron in the finals, people were saying awful things to him, and the Warriors were kind of saying he was soft, or like they were just words back in the finals a couple years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I don't, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You brought up a word that's really something, and Draymond said it the other day. He called them soft, and I've never thought the Warriors were soft. But I will tell you, complaining about the fans is soft.
Soft.
Right? You just got out-rebounded, out-hustled, out-muscled, out-physicaled, and beat by 16 points and down the stretch because you were winning in the third quarter, right? You took the lead in the third quarter. And I didn't really equate this until you just said it. But, JJ, that's soft.
It's soft.
If that's what you're worried about, maybe you should be worried about the Warriors a little bit.
Yeah, this is so different than some maybe dust up in the tunnel where someone said something and they're like, oh, that was way across the line. I mean, like, what do you say? No one heard anything. A player reacted versus the whole stadium chanting that.
No. Yeah, I look, you know what you need to worry about?
Winning.
Having Draymond get a rebound and
Rebounding.
not let the Williamses jump over him and grab every ball.
Hey, you had they had a home court advantage, and they lost.
That's right. All that's right. I mean, that's one. I sat there and scratched my head when I heard that. And I didn't make a big deal about it yesterday because I didn't even think it was that big of a deal. But, man, it blew up. And okay, all right, if that's where you want to go, do your thing. 505-246-0610. A bunch of emails have come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com on the Twitter. Hit JJ. It's _JJ Buck. And you can find us on the text line, 505-246-0610. Manny, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good topic this morning. And what the Golden State Warriors are actually doing is fueling the fire for more BS tonight from those Boston idiots. Trust me.
100%.
They're going to talk worse than they did Game 3. So what they did is just, I mean, they're just acting like a bunch of little crybabies rolling up and being sensitive. You know, it's the man's game. Hey, it is what it is. Man up and go out there and rebound and play defense. Make some shots.
Yep, and shut your rabbit ears down and go play ball. You're on the road in a hostile environment in the finals. That's why you like home court. All right, Manny, good to hear you.
Exactly, Jeff. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Manny called the 246-0610. We got a few more when we get back. NBA Finals tonight, Game 4. Who you got? And tell me why they're not soft, because it's one of the worst things you can call someone, right? It's a horrible, horrible term to call a team, but I don't know.
I started it.
You did. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Are you a safe driver?
Like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Arby's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a
question like,
real tough.
does Steve Kerr forget that the pick and roll exists for 3/4 of every basketball game? It's just I think of like that 7-point swing where there's the technical foul, Steph hits a couple of threes. Both those were, I think, if I remember correctly, both those came off of Curry pick and rolls. And through the third quarter, they ran that a bunch. He leaves the game, and they don't run it again the rest of the game, and they get destroyed. So I think if Steph is healthy enough to run that consistently, I don't think Boston has an answer for that.
All right, Jerry, appreciate the phone call. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, the game's not being totally about Steph Curry. That's just my expectation that he's going to have a huge impact on the game. And what you brought up, the other piece is guys needing to step up, guys needing to push back against the Boston Celtics is kind of what I'm looking at as why, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, those guys being able to step up and help, carry some of that load. But Jerry, appreciate the phone call this morning. He got in at 505-246-0610. Who else we got? Hey, Marie, I see those phone banks are lit up.
They're going wild. Okay, we're gonna go with Marty.
Marty, you're on the OD. What is up, Marty? How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. How about a Jim Brown, Don Perkins signed?
Did we lose Marty?
No, we got him. Right.
Okay. Anyways,
sorry, Marty.
Story, 1959. We're living in Gibson, Yale neighborhood, and the next door neighbor is Don Perkins. I'm 5 years old, so one summer day, me and my dad were playing catch. Out walks Don Perkins, and my dad and him were talking. So I didn't know the conversation. My dad later tells me, I said, Dad, what did he say? He said one day.
Well,
Did we lose him?
Marty, we'll take your Don Perkins story.
Sorry.
Call us back. It's
Marty!
a little crazy going
The
on right
phones are
now.
blowing
The phones
up.
are blowing up back there.
Marty,
if you
call
noticed,
back.
Jeff kind of had a very important business call that he's on, so we got a little double duty rolling. Anne-Marie pressing the buttons and answering your phone calls. We'll continue the NBA Finals talk and Don Perkins talk here shortly. But it is time for our sweet deal. Jasmine is here from Revel Burger this morning. Jasmine, how are you?
I'm doing great this morning.
It is great to see you. And we always talk about the awesome things that are going on, the great food and everything, but a brand new location for people to enjoy Revel Burger at. It's 9250 Golf Course Road right there, smack dab between Paseo and Paradise. And I got to believe y'all are excited about that.
Yes, it's finally open. It's been in the works for a little while now, but it's a wonderful place. Highly recommend dining in and checking it out.
And at Rubber Burger, of course, the meat is fresh, in-house, grinded daily. Burgers, grilled chicken sandwich, battered fries and chips, $12.99. So a great meal. Got the Jawbreaker, and our sweet deal today that goes live 9 o'clock this morning on our website. Get yourself a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And I know with the burgers, it's about the burger itself, but what kind of combos, things people can put on the burger at Revel?
Yeah, so we have, of course, our Angus beef ground in-house. We have our green chili, our cheese, and, a side of onion rings is always pretty nice.
Onion rings, to me, put everything over the top.
Mhm.
Like, I'm big on a great onion ring, and they have that at Revel Burger to add with your meal. So you got two places, of course, Revel Entertainment.
Yes.
Go there, hang out, especially tonight. If you watch the NBA Finals Game 4, great place to be.
Have a great sports bar over there.
Got the sports bar, got the TVs, got the burger, and now a location over on the west side, right there, Golf Course Road. It's, if you're driving Paseo, take a right if you're coming from the east side, and just head north on Golf Course Road, and you'll hit it.
Yep, it'll be on your right-hand side.
There you go, Revel Burger. You guys always do great stuff. Sweet deal today. $50 gift card for just $25. Goes live on our website, sportsanalytiq.com at 9 a.m. Jasmine, as always, appreciate you coming in and these awesome sweet deals.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate that. Revel Burger, check them out. So at 9 o'clock, these go really fast. So you need to get on right now to your computer, be ready to go, and you get yourself that $50 gift card for just $25. There's opening drive. JJ Buck, A-Marie. Zimbietta's here, but he's not here.
Zimbietta's
that
here,
makes sense.
but people are calling and coming and going. So call back. Come back.
We'll
We appreciate your
get
phone
this
calls.
train
It's so
back
funny.
on.
There were 6 people in line, and now they're building up again.
Well, we'll get this train back on the tracks after this break. We're talking NBA Finals. We're taking your stories of Don Perkins, and there's something that, while I did not watch Don Perkins play live, I know the legend that he is. When you hear the stories about what these athletes do off the field, that is why the world of collegiate sports is changing, but it is still very impactful. The business model might be different, but there are still very important things that will come from, that will continue to happen when it comes to collegiate athletics and what it means for communities. Communities like this in Albuquerque, the state of New Mexico, when someone that's not homegrown, that didn't grow up in the state, puts on that jersey, plays for your team, your city, your state, falls in love with it, and then becomes an impactful member, yeah, there's still a lot of positives with collegiate athletics. We'll dive into that. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Albuquerque Journal. Back by the Duke, meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Cheese is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Legend, Lobo legend, NFL legend. You have an extended NFL career. It's still such a small portion of people that can excel at the highest level. With Don Perkins passed away yesterday. He was 84 years old. Don Perkins came to UNM to play football in 1956, and he left a lasting legacy. And this is what stands out to me when we talk about collegiate athletics in sports in the moment. It still can be something so much more than just the business side of it. The game is changing. Things are changing in collegiate sports. Things are changing for the student athletes. Things are changing for the universities. Things are changing for the fans. But there's still something special about a student athlete that puts on that jersey and the ones that works. And sometimes that first place you go might not be it, so you go somewhere else. And then that becomes your home. And reading the story in the Albuquerque Journal by Rick Wright, he's the man to go to when it comes to local legends, is everything that Rick Wright has seen and covered. What really stands out to me about the Don Perkins story, not just the exceptional athlete that he was, it's that, he came back to Albuquerque after his NFL career, and he was named director of the state's new Youth Opportunity Program. He worked as a color commentator on CBS. He was a local sportscaster. He drove a truck for a living for a time. He performed in local theater productions. He raised a family here. In 1987, he joined the Albuquerque Police Department as a community relations counselor, later as a crime prevention specialist. You hear Ned James, a former Lobo quarterback, talk about Don Perkins on campus, and when black student athletes would come to Albuquerque recruited from out of state, maybe they're struggling to adapt, struggling with the culture. Hey, go talk to Don. He's someone that came here and fell in love with it. Don Perkins from Waterloo, Iowa, came to Albuquerque to play football, and it became his home. And those are the special things that still stand out. Those are what can make collegiate athletics so special. Big business side, student athlete welfare, yes, things are changing, and we're going to adjust to things. But when someone puts on that jersey, whether it's someone in Albuquerque from out of state that puts on that Lobo, happens down south, same thing. Become an Aggie. Whatever university it is, it just hits different. And you can get those special stories. And Don Perkins, for some, was the greatest. And it had me thinking of players that I've watched, I've personally seen. And, for me, it's Dontrell Moore, Hank Baskett, those teams. I'm sitting there watching them, and these dudes can play at the next level. Danny Granger. I was a middle school kid watching Danny Granger take the Lobos to the NCAA tournament. He's on that list for me. Hey, recently, Andrea Howard, one of the best student athletes I've ever seen, and she just wrapped it up. So that's who Don Perkins is to a lot of Lobo fans. And then for me, I didn't see Don Perkins. I see his poster on the side of the stadium, and I understand how special he was. But when you hear the stories, you're reading about who he was off the football field. That's the stuff that really hits. 505-246-0610 is the phone number. JJ Buck, A. Marie with you here on the opening drive. Rudy, appreciate you holding it, man. I know you want to talk about Don Perkins and his legacy here at the University of New Mexico.
Yes, it's going to be a little tough. I got to know Don when I worked for the county of Bernalillo, and I was working for the sheriff's department, and Don was doing his job with APD, and we'd sit around and talk, and it's amazing how many times he would avoid ever talking about himself and who he was as a football player. He wanted to talk about other people. And in 2013, when I got the honorary alumni letterman award from UNM, Don called me up to congratulate me. And the last time I saw him was 2018 in the pit. We sat there, and if you look at my Facebook page, there's a picture of him and I. I'm sorry about this, but he was the greatest man I ever met. He was so humble and so good to people. And I'm really going to miss that man. Thanks for the time.
Right, no, we really appreciate you sharing those thoughts, and that's the impact that reading the story, hearing Rudy. It's Don Perkins wasn't about football. Football gave him the opportunity.
More than a game.
And when we talk about why we listen to certain people, do their opinions matter more? Not necessarily. It's about platforms, and it's about a way to get things out there. And Don Perkins was really good at football, but he was so much more than that. And you're hearing that from the stories this morning. You're reading that in Rick Wright's great story. And there's a bit of it at the very end, which echoes what Rudy just said. There was Don Perkins. If you go to his house, there's nothing about his football career. And he said, Perkins said, quote, "I don't need it for myself. And I've got kids and grandkids that are very important to me. I don't think they need to come over to Grandpa's house and see a shrine in the National Football League." And I just, that echoes who Don Perkins was, what he was in this community, the people that were able to interact with him. And, that's what, tugs on my heartstrings. I have had the great opportunity in terms of my broadcasting career to work mainly with UNM and those student athletes. But you meet so many good people. And sports brings them here, and then it opens the door to so many different things. And as we continue to wade through the balance that is college sports as a business, and you can't have student athletes, you can't have games without money for scholarships and coaches and venues. But the people at the heart of it are what build those stories, are what build those fan bases. And the people that are sharing their stories about Don Perkins, it just had me think of the players that I've watched growing up. And I've spent the majority of my life here in New Mexico. I was a kid that was born in Los Alamos, went to elementary school up in Denver, but I'm a New Mexico kid. Came back here and watching the end of the Rocky Long era into Steve Alford era basketball coming off the Danny Granger teams. Like, that's what's seared into my memory. That's when I'm building my core memories as a collegiate fan. And for you, A-Marie, who are some of those names that stood out to you? When you were
growing up here, and I grew up here from kindergarten, and then I left when I was to go to college, and now I'm back. I was big on. I got to see Brian Urlacher play. I mean, come on. But for me, it was more basketball and Don Flanagan, and Miranda Sanchez was like my hero as a child. And she's the reason why I picked the basketball number 21. No, not a lot of people know that. But it just, like, those teams, like, I don't know. There's just something very special about Albuquerque. And growing up here, it's such a unique, charming little mid-sized city. So my heart is in basketball, but I just grew up looking up to all these Lobos until I left. And it's really nice to come back and be in touch with this. And my condolences go out to the family. I'm looking at Don Perkins' just resume, and it's incredible. So, but as you said, it's more important than what he did on the field. It sounds like what he did off the field was more impactful too, which is awesome.
Well, the impact he had on Lobo football. Come in here.
It's amazing.
In 1956, everyone talking about that game in 1959 where they beat Air Force. He had 126 yards rushing, scored 3 touchdowns. Then to be able to go on to the NFL.
I mean, 6-time Pro Bowler.
He was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
815 yards rushing. Rookie of the Year.
That's crazy.
Pro Bowl in 1961.
1961.
That's big time. And as you know, sitting here, is he in the College Football Hall of Fame?
I was looking. He's
no,
in the
because
Ring of Honor for the Cowboys. No.
Because when we're talking about Terrence Mathis, I don't know what the overall numbers at UNM, put Don Perkins on that list because it's Brian Urlacher is the one Lobo, Terrence Mathis on that list. So he's not in the College Football Hall of Fame, but being in the Ring of Honor at UNM for the Dallas Cowboys, that's an unbelievable career. But it allows you to highlight Albuquerque is such an interesting town because it's a college town, but it doesn't have that true college town feel.
Correct.
And because Division I athletics, that's the front porch to sports for everybody. Now, that's just usually, for most of us, as we're young kids, that's your introduction. Yeah, you got your NFL teams, your NBA teams, MLB teams that you grew up with. But hands-on, in-person moments.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in Albuquerque, it's Lobo games.
Definitely.
Of course, you got AAA baseball, United, but that first big feel for so many is going to a Lobo game.
Oh, I used to go to Lobo football games every week.
Football, basketball.
Oh yeah, go to the pit. Yep.
You name it. And so that's why stories like this are special and they matter. And I believe in college athletics, not just because I work in it so much, but because it does impact communities at such a high level. It brings in young people that throw on that jersey, that wear New Mexico across their chest, could fall in love with the community, and then become difference makers in your town, in your state. And that was Don Perkins. We'll continue to take your thoughts if you have any stories that you'd like to share about the Lobo legend, NFL legend, Don Perkins, that passed away yesterday at the age of 84. It is the opening drive. JJ Buck, Amory with you here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot.
Because wide receivers get paid a lot of money in this league. But he also has a new running mate in Davante Adams. And Davante Adams talked to reporters this week, and he let you know why he decided to continue his career in Las Vegas. It's opening drive. JJ Buck, Marie, the Raiders do have the best offensive skill position players in the AFC West. They have Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Dan Waller, and Josh Jacobs. That's the best skill group with a good quarterback. So here's the thing. You could say
that's a great point.
Derek Carr is the 4th best quarterback in the AFC West. But with that skill group, it still makes him better than so many other teams. And that is why this division is going to be fascinating. Defensive survival. Who is going to survive defensively in the AFC West in those 6 games between your divisional rivals?
Hot take, JJ, because I'm looking down this AFC West here, and I think you are absolutely correct with these wide receivers. Not taken away from the Chargers, Broncos, or Chiefs, because I think they're all really solid teams and have weapons.
You're taking Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert over Derek Carr.
I'm taking... No, you're talking about the group, the weapons.
Group.
The weapons.
The weapons overall. He has the best. All right, you want to say Travis Kelce? Okay, but then you get Darren Waller and Davante Adams. and Hunter Renfrow. All right, Mike Williams, not as consistent. Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver. Travis Kelce, all right, the best tight end. Broncos got a lot to prove with their skill position group. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. You like the outside, Javonte Williams. We got Melvin Gordon there. But the Raiders have the best skill position group. And so Devontae Adams said to a reporter this week, quote, I got aspirations of doing really, really big things and being remembered. And it just wasn't really a point in my career that I was willing to sacrifice Aaron, that is Aaron Rodgers, not being there after a year or two. So it was a long-term play for Devontae Adams. And it was, we all saw the writing on the wall. Is Devontae Adams was not going to re-up in Green Bay for a mega deal with gigantic quarterback question marks after 2 seasons. And he trusts Derek Carr. If you haven't heard, haven't seen the highlights, them scoring touchdowns on the Lobos constantly because it's the one they love to play.
They need some new highlights.
Derek Carr.
They need some new highlights, and they're going to get them. They'll get them
State.
this year. They'll get them this year, but they need some new highlights.
It was one that, when it happened, you're like, oh, like no one checked on Devontae. Everyone's worried about Aaron Rodgers, but you see Devontae Adams going, well, all right, you can pay me the bag, and I get a ton of money. But this Jordan Love guy, oh, yeah, he's great and all. That's a giant question mark. There's not a question mark with Derek Carr. We know he's a good quarterback. Elite, no. But you can win in this league without an elite quarterback, especially if you got the team. And at least offensively, the Raiders have that team around Derek Carr. And Josh McDaniels, round 2. Usually, second time around, works out for these guys. You've learned your lessons. And I do like what Josh McDaniels has said, being back in Las Vegas, going, a lot of that Patriot stuff, yeah, you just can't do that anywhere else. There's one Bill Belichick. There's one Patriot way. You can have that shape you, but Josh McDaniels is not going to create New England 2.0 in Las Vegas. And he realizes that this time around, which is why the AFC West is going to be bonkers.
I think it's okay that it's not going to be the Patriots 2.0, and I'm very, very excited about this.
It can't be.
No.
Like, you take lessons from people you work with, from people you look up to, but there's only one Bill Belichick. There's only one dude that can act like that, and it works.
Absolutely, and I'm proud of Devontae Adams, and this isn't just, as a fan of the NFC North. But
leaving Green Bay?
No, but the Green Bay, it's very up in the air. I know that they went to another, NFC loss to the 49ers in the playoffs last season, but they're very up in there. They're not that solid of a team. There's a lot of unknowns, so it's very exciting for Devontae Adams. He still has a lot of good years left in him to go to a Raiders team that's going to be, I think, really good.
He got 5 years, $141 million from the Raiders. And there was rumored that Green Bay offered him $200 million on a 4-year deal. But it was, all right, what happens after 2 years? Because the consensus, and Devontae Adams is kind of telling you, that this is a 2-year window for Aaron Rodgers.
Of course. And then Aaron Rodgers leaves, and then what's next? Jordan Love, the rebuild starts. Like, what goes on? Like, Devontae used his last couple great years he has in him with his bestie in Las Vegas.
So you get a little behind the scenes of what Devontae Adams was thinking. Could they have ran it back, and could he have signed a short-term deal for a lot of money? Sure. But he signed a long-term deal with a lot more guaranteed money.
I was going to say, he's looking at the bigger picture.
To go to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And this division, because you look at the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he's already been anointed. That game at the end of the season, it just needed a tie. And then everything that happened at the end, Staley going for it, and then
timeout,
kicking the field goal. And here we are with Derek Carr getting into the playoffs and losing to Cincinnati. You had that at the end. Then you have Russell Wilson in Denver, where this is going to be big for the Broncos because all they talked about the last few years.
They need a quarterback.
Need a quarterback. Well, I don't think they're as good as they've been defensively, so it's that much more important that they have someone to make up that ground. offensively now with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the dude that he'll make everyone better. He's that level of quarterback. But you have that for three guys. So I think Justin Herbert, if you watch him, he makes everyone that much better.
Right. And they acquired the Chargers. The Chargers also acquired and built up their defense too. So this is going to be a great.
While
tough
everyone was
division.
attacking offensively,
The Chargers
got to
whipped them
do.
in.
Chargers were like,
Let's get Khalil Mack.
let's bring in Khalil Mack.
Christian Covington.
Oh, by the way, Khalil Mack still got something left in the tank. And when you're
got
playing
something in the tank.
opposite Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack is going to have, DeMarcus Ware level impact. When Ware was finishing out in Denver, and you had that guy named Von Miller on the other side. And you're like, oh, we got to block Khalil Mack now?
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, y'all. Who do you think? Yes, it's June 10th. But the AFC West is stacked. It's set. Who you putting your money on? Where are the future bets coming in on the AFC West? Let's hear it. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bach.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Hey, thanks for coming over here for a minute. Were you over here? Oh, no, you were over there. I guess somebody's got to be in that room, huh? All right. Apologize for my
Yeah,
stupid,
we can't do that.
All right. I guess there's no autopilot over there. Happy Friday to you. Friday of Game 4 of the NBA Finals will be in, where are we going to be? In Massachusetts tonight.
Boston.
Arlington. No, it's you take the train from Arlington. Live Golf is underway. Bryson DeChambeau is going to join Live Golf. Did you know that? Did you hear all the talk yesterday about the Live Golf and the PGA? Where did you land? When Graham McDowell says, look, I've always been able to play around the world. I can do whatever I want. We're free agents. And the tour is saying, look, you can't just bounce. Expect the sponsors to be there when you want them to be there. And when you're going to go playing around the world. Now, I think public sentiment's going to go to the players and let them play wherever the hell they want and go get their money.
It is. And this is one where you have two different lanes of conversation. It's easy to bash the PGA Tour in this. But they're also a business entity. And this would
diminish their product.
So they're trying to build up their walls and set their lanes while they figure out what the best step is going to be. Is it going to be moving forward being more open? Is it going to force them to add more prize money in the future, which would then have these players, a.k.a. Phil Mickelson, winning their arguments against the PGA Tour? And it's also one, too, that when you look at these players, the PGA Tour status for these guys is something special. But so is
money,
guaranteed money.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's what I think is going to happen. First of all, and we're going to continue the conversation on Ray Perkins as well, or Don Perkins. Ray wants to talk about Don Perkins. They may increase their prize money, but I don't know how. Because if sponsorships are going to go down because there's television rights, because there's going to be the best players in the world are going to be playing less, I don't know how you're going to increase your purses. They may evolve the rules. There may be, I think they will end up taking some of the best ideas from Live Golf and implementing them into the PGA Tour. Whether that's, I don't think 3 days, but whether that's shotgun starts or whatever it is. They may take some of that stuff that the players like. They will never be able to compete with the purses, the money. The Saudis have invested $4 billion into this. And they're going to keep taking money out of the ground. It's not going to dry up. That money is going to be, like the PGA Tour, I don't think is ever going to be able to compete with them financially. Now, you can tell me I can work less and make more? I'm listening. I think within a couple of weeks, everybody's going to be over where the money's coming from. I think they're already there. But this is going to be really interesting. All right. Our city, our state, our community lost a legend in the passing of global great, cowboy great, Don Perkins. And I'm sorry I missed Rudy's conversation. I would have loved to hear what he had to say because I know how much Don meant to Rudy. Ray, you want to talk about Don Perkins as well. Good morning.
How you doing, guys?
How you doing?
Yeah, Don Perkins. I went to Taft. It was junior high back then. Now it's middle school there, right there off of Schultze, and that's where Don Perkins' home is. And when we were there in junior high, you get to play football. So he would go out there when he was home. He would go out there, talk to us, give us a little things to do, like in the drills and what we were doing wrong. And I went to school with his son, with his daughter and son, Randy. And I tell you, he was a freshman when I was going to be a junior at Valley. And that guy, as a freshman, was one of the best running backs I've seen. And I've seen Timmy Smith and all them. He can cut full speed, cut on a dime. do all kinds of stuff with the ball. And then after his freshman year, he played varsity with us. After his freshman year, he went to academy, and he got hit out of bounds on a controversial late hit, and he broke his neck.
Really?
I think he would have been just like his dad if he would have kept on playing. But Don Perkins was one of the nicest guys I ever seen when we were in junior high. He'd come and talk to us. When we went to Valley, he went and talked to the whole football team and just would go see it, go to the practices. And that's what I remember.
Hey, Ray, I don't remember, and so you know the family better than Ray's gone. For those of you who knew him better than I, and again, I'm not going to claim to have known him well. I met him a number of times, and I know that won't be able to say this when I'm gone. Maybe about you. Never heard a bad word said about him. Right? Okay, there's a few things he'll say when I'm gone. It won't be, never heard a bad thing said about that guy. No, there's plenty of you. I guess there might have been one or two, but the common thread is, what a gentleman. What an engaging person. What a person who went out of his way to find time and have time for this community. I'm going to guess he was one of the, and I'll lean on you old-timers a little bit on this, one of the first superstars in sports that claimed Albuquerque as home, right? I mean, there were some that were from New Mexico, but one of the first who, post-career, came back here and claimed it as home, right? Yeah. And so in this town, and you know how people here just love the big time, right? Get just a piece of something. Well, he was big time. He's the Cowboys Ring of Honor. He was, I think, the first guy who came back here, and this is home, and he was in the community and embraced it and was engaging within this community. And to me, that's one of the things that made him so special. He didn't come back here because he had to. He didn't come back here because, well, this is where he grew up, or he had kids here and he had to come back. Like he came back here because he wanted to, because he loved here, because he wanted to make a difference in this community. And I think that's why the outpouring and the sentiment is what it is, whether you knew him intimately or you met him twice or once. That makes sense?
Absolutely. And it's something that I'm echoing as the business world of college athletics is changing. And student athletes have a lot more things that they're dealing with, the transfer portal. But at the core of it, there's still something special about a university in a city. And Albuquerque is such a unique town because it's a college town that's not a classic college town.
Right.
Like
it's a big college town. Yeah.
It doesn't have that like you're in Lubbock or Waco or Pullman. Yeah, so it's a really unique college town. But I was discussing that outside of the major league teams that your family roots for, like a lot of people's first big time sporting experience is a Lobo game.
Right.
And so you have that different attraction, that different feeling to these student athletes, and that can matter. Not only that, and whether you're going to like Lobo camps or anything along those lines, it's the student athletes themselves that a university, a sport brings them here, but then it can keep them here, and you can have a member of your community that probably would have never been here if it wasn't for the university to have such a big impact.
Well, and there's something special about the ones who come back. You know, when Kenny Thomas has been around Albuquerque so much more in the last 3 years, and I think it's really improved. I think he's felt more comfortable, and I think people have really embraced him. When Brian comes back, when Brian Urlacher comes back, and I know he's not making Albuquerque or New Mexico his primary residence, but when he comes back, it's a big deal. The fact that Rocky Long came back here, right? That's a big deal. When you get these guys that come back, there's something special, and they come back because they recognize what you recognize as residents. You know, there's a reason you live here. There's a reason you want to be here, and that's what I'm hearing with Don. And I guess I've always heard that about him, and I've always got that. But this is a true legend who could have lived and thrived and succeeded and done great things anywhere. And look, Dallas is a big place, man. You can go over there and make a bunch of money. Former Cowboys live like kings over there, right?
Yeah.
He came home, and home being here, not Iowa home. He came here, and I think that's special. And that's what I'm hearing every one of your phone calls, every one of your correspondence today, and it's pretty special. Feel free, come on in and talk about Don Perkins if you'd like, if you've ever met him. Love to hear you. I just love the stories. Just love the stories. get into the NBA. Should update you on the Live Golf tournament that's going on. When we come back, there was so much made of the television viewership, the online viewership yesterday and the numbers. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't tell the story on Live Golf versus PGA. I'll tell you why you should not get too excited about the numbers from yesterday on the new fledgling golf tour. That's when we come back. Hey, I've been telling you about Numel for a while now. How thousands of men benefit from Numel's industry-leading testosterone replacement. How these men have felt better. They're feeling stronger. They take care of fatigue and depression, even erectile dysfunction. Well, do you know that Numel also specializes in hair restoration? Hair restoration without side effects for men and for women. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688. Or you can go online at Numel. That's NUMALE.com. Look, Numel gives you options on hair restoration, and they're all really good. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. I know, crazy. Let them explain it to you because they get it and they know that it works. They've got an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. They have NeoGraft hair transplants, which produces natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. Treatments work for both men and women who want natural, thicker hair without side effects. Numel's right here in Albuquerque. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or visit them online at newmail.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated.
5.9 FM and AM 610.
Oh, is it Friday? Give me a hoe if you got your funky.
You got your funky bus fare.
I think I was sorting my own hoe.
That was like, you guys matched pitch almost. Like,
it's the first time I realized you don't hoe. I thought you hoed too.
I'll hoe.
I just looked over, you're drinking coffee.
No, I really enjoy listening to you guys. Every time I try to do an early hoe, like I like the idea of an early hoe.
Yeah.
You can't just like hoe in the middle of. You got to pick and choose your hoe.
Oh, I got a headache.
You say hoe, you got a headache.
A hoe-induced headache. All right, Live Golf. Charles Schwartzel is your leader. He's at. They just took it off my leaderboard. He's at -5. And then there's the team play. Henny Duplessis is in second place. Phil Mickelson is in 27th place. He's at 3 over par, if you care. So -6 for Charles Schwartzel. Henny Duplessis at -3. Actually, JJ, there's only 6 guys under par. So evidently this golf course is pretty tough. You got a 54 or 48 person field. And 2.5 rounds in, or 1.5 rounds in, you only have 6 guys under par. It's a pretty tough golf course.
Or they're just not that good.
Oh, then there's that. Dustin Johnson is in 11th place. He is 1 over par. Anybody else you care about? Where's Escar? Do you see Escar?
I got to get to know these golfers.
Oh. T. Gooch is +1. All right, the ratings yesterday, and Graham McDowell, 31st place, +4. I was told, 850,000 viewers tuned in, and so you're looking for some sort of a context to that, and I'm told, well, it's like 395,000 watched the first round of a PGA tournament. People care more about the... Okay, tap the brakes. Do you remember the first week of USFL? Everybody kind of watched the new thing, right? You wanted to see what it was all about, and I'm going to tell you, tap the brakes. Now, does that mean it will not rate? It'll not get the viewership that the PGA gets? I'm going to tell you, yes, I believe that initially. But I'm not going to go with a sample size of one and tell me more people care about this in the PGA Tour when the very first ever highly publicized, insanely promoted Live Golf Tour, the first round drew better than the Thursday round of the RBC Canadian Open. Like, pardon me if I'm not going, wow, that makes them better and more people care.
No, you can't do that on the very first round of a very polarizing golf tournament.
But that's all I was seeing yesterday with people. See, there people are watching. More people.
Talk to me about event 3.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Event 3 on Friday.
The real difference is going to be how does the PGA Tour, how do the sponsors, what things do they adjust and what do they react to? Because right now they're like, boom, suspension, here's your letter. And other guys are just like, well, there's a check. And I'm going to go take that check.
A big check. A really big check. Rocket Mortgage pulled out of their sponsorship with Bryson DeChambeau because of his ties, because he's joined the Live Series.
But here's a question for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Does that benefit Rocket Mortgage? Like, are they that tied in with the PGA Tour that they pull out with DeChambeau?
Yeah, I think they're a title sponsor of a tournament, are they not? I think they are. I mean, I think it's kind of choose your partner. Are you gonna go with the golfer who is seen to be going? Well, I'm going against what the tour is. Who's your partner? I don't think you can do both.
Like Detroit, right?
Yeah.
One of the tournaments.
I don't know that you can be a partner of both. And if they are rivals, if they are competitors, I mean, is that a competitive competition, a competing league tour? Well, I think you kind of got to pick one or the other. Yeah. Now, does it benefit them? You decide. First of all, I mean, is one person out there decided that you're going to go with Rocket Mortgage because they're on Bryson DeChambeau's shirt? If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts and why. And the same token, are you not going to go Rocket Mortgage because now they're off of Bryson DeChambeau's shirt? Do you drink Monster energy drink because it's on Tiger's bag?
No.
I mean, it's all brand recognition, right?
Of course.
I sometimes wonder the benefit of some of this as opposed to the negative. Like if you're associated with a golfer who does something, then you got to make a call. Oh, we're disassociating with Phil. KPMG and Callaway and everybody who ran away from Phil. I always wondered about that.
Branding is fascinating.
Well, no doubt.
It really is. Just the amount of things that's
I'm in that game,
stuck in your head.
Yeah.
But it's that moment when you're in the store, you're walking down the aisle, or you're like, oh, I need to pick up some soap. Well, what soap do you grab? Is it the one that just happens to be like,
I'm thinking of soap. I don't know. What soap do you grab?
You just like,
Palmolive? No, is that a soap? Yeah.
Like, oh, I saw that commercial.
Oh, yeah, the golfer wore it on his hat. I'm buying that soap. Maybe. You buying Tony the Tiger's they're great and Frosted Flakes because they're on the Sun Bowl, or are you buying Lucky Charms just because? No, it's a fair question. I've had these conversations, had a million of these. I'm in that business now.
Yeah.
Hello, Dan.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, just two little things. One, of course, sorry to hear about Don Perkins passing, but great life. So celebrate the life.
Absolutely.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so just happy that he played for the Cowboys. Anyway, the other thing was the golf thing. I can't see Mickelson's argument crying about he's going for more money when the guy blew $40 million gambling. I mean, he didn't invest $40 million in a business. He didn't invest $40 million in his family. He blew $40 million gambling. I mean, think about that. And he's going to be crying that the PGA is not paying him enough money. That was his whole platform in order to make all that money. So guys like that and these other guys, I can't. How much money is enough money? How many more houses? If you don't, I don't know a single person in the world that's like 100 years old that's like, gosh, man, if I only had a couple of more bucks. No, they'd be saying, man, if I just had the health to enjoy this money. You know, it doesn't matter how much money. In the end, it's your health, and how much more can you spend? How much more do you need? You can't spend all the time in a ton of houses. You can't spend all the time on your yacht. I mean, it's just worthless. It's just greed. Can't stand it. Then the other point that you said about where they're going to get all this money from to increase PGA payouts. Well, you know, maybe with all these guys that they're canceling their sponsorships with, they'll sink it into some of these paydays for some of these other guys.
Maybe.
I don't think it's a matter of the paydays the guys are making. I think they're making plenty of bank. I think the problem is you got some guys that are kind of like whack cases. You know, Dustin Johnson had a drug issue. Patrick Reed's a troublemaker. Phil Mickelson's he's a degenerate gambler. I mean, allegedly for all of this, right? But you know, you get the point. DeChambeau's a jerk. I mean,
that's not alleged.
You know, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
thanks,
it's good,
guys.
Dan.
I'll listen.
Yeah, no, a couple things. And I don't know Dan. I know me. I know you. You and me, and I don't know. I'm going to assume Dan. Probably never going to be able to answer the question, how much is enough?
That is correct.
All right. I mean, I don't know how much is enough, and I struggle talking about somebody else's money. Phil's made a lot of money. He's reportedly lost $40 million gambling. Well, there you go. Now he can go cover his gambling debts. Right? Make his money back. I don't know how much is enough. Whatever I'm living on is enough. Right? Do you want more? Yeah, you always want more. And I don't know if you hit a point where you don't want more. It doesn't seem that you do. Will companies sink more money into the game? If the product is diluted, it's going to be a really tough sell to go to KPMG, who pulled away from Phil Mickelson, and go to Rocket Mortgage, who pulled away from Bryce DeChambeau, and say, hey, we want you to invest more, but 17 or 18 or 25 or whatever the number is going to be, the greatest golfers in the world we've suspended them from our tour. Our product's better. Well, no, your product's watered down. Unless people are watching, why am I investing more? It's right. It's going to be a tough sell.
Yeah.
So, look, everybody's got their issue. Is Bryson a jerk? Yeah, he seems to be. Did Phil have a gambling problem? No, he absolutely did. Did Dustin have a drug problem? Yes, he did. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on people. I got my issues. You got yours. I'm going to assume. Right? Are they malcontents because they have? I'm going to skip that conversation just because it's not my place to pass judgment on people who have blind spots and have issues. Is that all right?
A-okay.
Yeah, we all do. Seems like Dustin Johnson figured it out and brought things back, and I don't know that anybody had a problem with him until last week. Right?
I've never heard anything.
Yeah. It's been over the last bunch of years since he cleaned up. He admitted his issue, went and got help with his issue, and feels like he figured it out. Yeah. All right, you can get in on it. I don't know. Is the answer, or is the question, how much is enough? If any of you know the answer, man, I'm listening. I'd love to know. Wouldn't you love to be able to answer that question? How much is enough? We ask that all the time. 505-246-0610. Aaron Jones owns International Protective Service. I know you've seen their vehicles around town, IPS. They're parked in front of my house a couple times a day, taking a look at my place, making sure that the good guys are looking after, not the bad guys. My neighbors use IPS as well. I've used them for years. It's private security for homes and businesses. Started in Fort Hill 16 years ago, and now hundreds of homeowners and business owners all over Albuquerque use IPS to protect what they worked so hard to build. Look, Aaron Jones is from Albuquerque. He owns this company. He's passionate about making this place a safer place, a better place to live and work. By watching your home, watching your business with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. Committed to our city, committed to your protection. Give them a call and find out what they can do for you. It is affordable home security. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
I don't know what the
It
answer
is.
Marcus Smart. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, a little breaking news in your college sports landscape came down about 20 minutes ago. CBS's Shaheen Gerard, I don't know this person, Gerarja. CBSSports.com is reporting Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida will join the Big 12 a year early. Not this coming athletic season, but the 2023-2024 year, which is, as it stands now, a year before OU and Texas leave. So, JJ, I don't know if the writing's on the wall now for OU and Texas to join the SEC that same time.
Yes.
It feels that way, right?
Yes, it does.
All right, so this will be the final year that Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida will play in the American, and BYU is also going to the Big 12. So that came down this morning. 505-246-0610. Let's go back to the phones. Jim, you want to talk about the Live Golf Tour. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Happy Friday to you.
You as well.
Today's my Thursday, but this whole thing has been fascinating to watch, and I've heard a lot of analysis not only from you guys, but through the Golf Channel. And Brandel Chambly was on Rome yesterday, which was a pretty good interview. But it kind of currently to me goes back to what Rory said, and ultimately, I'm not a huge Rory McIlroy fan. I've always I've never been impressed with his toe walking, and I think that he's been humbled as he's gotten older, and so I kind of respect what he said, and that was that, anything that you do that is purely based on finances, is, I think,
Probably not
a
gonna
really
end up
bad decision.
Yeah.
It's always going to end up kicking you in the tail on the backside, and I think, that Tiger looks at it. He has to, right? I mean, imagine the money that they offered to Tiger. If Phil's getting $200 million, how much you think Tiger?
Well, supposedly it was close. Yeah, supposedly it was close to $1 billion. To go over there. Right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it at all. But it goes to show with Rocket Mortgage, you guys were talking about that, and sponsors dropping DeChambeau. Yeah, that's true. Frankly, I'm not a huge DeChambeau fan anyway. I'm not the biggest fan of paperboy hats and that over mechanical swing is crazy. But hey, he's a major champion, so you got to respect that.
Yeah.
But I kind of respect companies when they do that. I don't know, maybe it's these days it's because we're in such a social media society. It's oh wow, Rocket Mortgage. Back in the day, without the internet, you wouldn't even know what Rocket Mortgage was, right? Well, Rocket Mortgage wouldn't even be around. But whether it's Cobra, whether it's Rocket Mortgage, whether
KPMG,
any of those companies, whoever decides to drop them, I think that's rightfully so. Plus, those guys sign a contract, and it's not hey, I get carte blanche and get to do whatever the hell I want. You got to kind of follow their rules too. And I don't know why when I saw that it made me think kind of of Ukraine and everybody pulling out of Ukraine, pulling out of Ukraine, pulling out of Russia because of the war. It's kind of like the same thing. Now I know we don't have any issue with the Saudis, and I love the name of the league. Actually, I love the 54 idea. I think that's actually super cool. But it'll never be the same as the PGA. However, I think in the long run, this is actually going to make the PGA better because they're realizing they're going to have to step their game up, and they can only suspend so many players before, it's just not worth it. So, anyway, love to hear your guys' thoughts.
No, it's really good.
Always appreciate you in the morning.
Thank you.
All right?
I really appreciate the call. Great call, Jim. Thank you. That's a great call. Let me ask you this: would this be any different? There's a rival league in pick your country in basketball, and you only got to play once a week. And LeBron, and they said, LeBron, we're going to pay you $500 million to come on over and play. You only got to play once a week. Would it be okay for the Lakers to miss a couple games once a week and go over and play in that league?
Would it be okay to who?
Well, would it be okay for him to do that? He's got a contract with the Lakers. I mean, now, is this different? Is that analogous?
I think it's different because it's a team versus individual.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying it's a team sport versus individual.
Yeah, because you're a PGA Tour member, but you're not
contracted to a team.
with.
You're like,
so you have that decision, but then they could also say, well, we're not granting your membership to come back.
Yeah. I don't know how your membership, if there's a contract, I don't know how it's worded. I just don't.
But also, and even at the end of the last call, he's talking about the league and some of the missteps they're taking, but then he eventually got around to, well, the PGA will change. That's exactly what these guys want.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
That's why they're over there getting that money, and they're like, all right,
PGA's
we're
gonna have
from the PGA Tour.
Yeah, the PGA's going to have to change.
By the way, Tiger Woods just became a billionaire. They broke the news.
I don't know, just today.
I know, it was just like
without taking the money.
ESPN just broke the news. I was like, okay, I'm not surprised.
Everybody else is losing money in the stock market, and he's making it. Like, where the hell is he making it all?
It's not at Live.
We're all losing
it's
money.
Not at
every day.
Live.
Yeah, I know. John, you want to talk about Don Perkins? Good morning, John.
Hi, good morning, guys. Good Friday to you. Yeah, I turned on the radio the other late, and I had heard that Don passed away, and it broke my heart. We both worked at APD together. I was retired APD sergeant, and we worked in accreditation and compliance. And he worked for the community policing part. So I worked with him for the last 7 years of my career doing things like that to meet compliance for certain standards. And we would meet, once or twice a month, and we'd go out to lunch. And he had great stories about his playing days and trying to buy a house in Dallas, and they wouldn't let him buy a house in certain parts of town because of his, he was a black man trying to buy a house in an affluent neighborhood. And he was really, he used to be a little angry about that, and I never saw him remember playing at UNM, but I certainly remember him as a Cowboy because I'm a lifelong Cowboy fan. And he was the nicest guy. We had deadlines to meet for work, and he would always get stuff into me before the deadline. He was the only one that would do it. Everybody else, I would have to stay on him and get stuff late and everything, but not Don. He was the nicest guy, soft-spoken. We had lunch together many times. He had witty jokes and witty things about the Dallas Cowboys and playing. And he used to tell us Cowboy fans that we were deranged because it's just a football team, so you guys need to get over it. So I just want to, pay my condolences to his family and just let you guys know, in my personal experience, what a great, great man he was. And boy, I tell you, back then in the late 90s and the early 2000s, he still looked like he could play. He was in shape.
No doubt. Yep, I think that's right. No, John, that's a great call. Thank you. There's a theme, man. There's a theme with the Don Perkins calls. And look, I get it. Somebody passes away, you always say nice things, but I'm just telling you before. I mean, I never, ever, 26 years ago when I first met him, never heard a bad word about that guy. How many of us can say that's what they're going to say about us when we're gone? Right?
Aw, they're going to say a lot of nice things.
Yeah, but not, there's going to be plenty of, that guy was, and there's a few. Most, whatever. All right, we'll get back to, I got to get.
Jerks.
I know.
3 jerks in the morning.
3 jerks in the morning. If that's,
we need a shirt.
Honestly, if that's the worst, maybe
that should be the sticker, by the way, or the coffee or the whatever.
Oh, that'd be good. We can go to TD Gardens and they can chant at me.
Ooh, yes.
F that jerk.
Yes.
This guy's Zimbietta. Who do you think he is?
Right, with a Z. It sounds like a Z dish. It's on my menu. All right, stay there if you're there. 505-246-0610. I got a bunch of emails. I'll get through as many as we can as well. Wrap up your work week when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it
Bleep you, Draymond. Ready for that snack? It should be good. It should be a lot of fun. The question marks. Is it on Steph Curry? Is it not on Steph Curry? Stay classy, Boston. Has anyone ever said that in your life? No. It's going to be game 3 times 1,000 tonight. Can Draymond Green just play some defense and rebound? That's what the Warriors need you to do. Play some defense and rebound.
What the heck?
What the heck, man? We're here.
Oh, I thought you were
down. I was giving you a second.
Oh, I just thought you were
yourself.
I got caught up in the
awkwardly staring at you.
I know. I thought you were talking
on the radio
or something. All right, Jeff, as predicted. Did you know Belmont's this weekend? Big horse now. Most of the hyped horses that bloated the Derby field are 20 of them are in the transfer portal. There'll be a svelte 8 going the 1.5 miles at Belmont. We the people carry speed all the way. Or will Rich Strike make a late close to the parking lot? Does the Philly Nest have a shot? No. And it's not going to be, I don't think Rich Strike wins again either. Sorry. Omaha! Jeff, that was the ultimate audible. When I had to walk away for a minute. Sorry. Terry, good morning to you.
Good Friday to you all. As always on a Friday, thoughts and hugs to Baloo, Austin, Addie, and all your family members.
Only on
you
a
guys
Friday.
Always have,
Yep.
Yeah, great.
We only hug
Yeah,
on Friday.
for weekends, just in the week, have a great weekend, be safe and all that. Sports-wise, the softball, that center fielder last night, that was awesome. Oklahoma robbing the girl of the home run, going over the wall. What I also thought was pretty cool in the softball World Series was they would give the family the home run balls.
Yeah.
I think the one girl from Oklahoma, their family had to bring a bucket for every game because she had
Jocelyn
them all out.
Allo. Jocelyn Allo, she's terrific.
Yeah, she's amazing. Now, LaRussa, they used to have that commercial of fried egg, this is your brain on drugs. I think they can play LaRussa's interview and this is your brain on alcohol. As somebody who threw many an inning, to intentionally walk somebody when you have them on a 1-2 count, I think is idiotic. I mean, if that ball had bounced and it made the count 2-0, fine, send them down. But even Freeman's on second base, and the look on his face was like, what the heck? What's this guy doing? And so, you go on and do it. But LaRussa, coached 800 years, and he gets to do whatever he wants,
Yes,
I
he
guess.
does.
But from that, but from advertising, you say Rocket Mortgage again. 35, 36 years ago, as a liquor salesman, we came in and they said we're selling Seagram wine coolers, and back then the old farts, Bartle and James, were just selling everything. And they said we got this commercial, and we were selling probably 5-10 cases to stores then. And they came out with Bruce Willis. He was doing Moonlighting, and I don't know, his first Die Hard movie, but all of a sudden the orders went from 5 and 10 cases to somewhere from 50 to 100 or more cases. And I was like, just because somebody's doing a commercial. So I finally bought into advertising. I go, I guess people do it just because of that. So I can see whether you add a sponsor or drop a sponsor. So from that standpoint, you move on. So
it obviously works, man. Yeah, it obviously works.
I took it in a business class one time. Some soap company from the 50s thought they were number one and said, we don't need to advertise anymore. And within 3 years, they were out of business. So it is something. Is from the Live Tour, I was more hoping last little bit. Again, I'm not their favorite, but I was hoping if they were to help the PGA, it would help the guys at the bottom. You know, the ones that are struggling. Maybe they could get money in there to help them pay their caddies for missed cuts and all that. I unfortunately think it's just the top dogs are worrying about the top dogs, and so be it. We'll see how it works itself out. But like I said, always have a great weekend. Be safe. Take care.
See you. Who gets healthy here? Live. I mean, look, if you get into the tournament, you're guaranteed 120 grand, right? And they're taking care of your accommodations and paying your caddy.
And when you look at the bottom of the list, seems like they'll take anyone.
Well, yeah, I think they're filling out the field now. Will this get? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that, granted, you haven't heard of, and there's some non-ranked players in the world rankings. Yes. So will these field? But the more guys that come over, next tournament, you got Patrick Reed and Bryson already in.
Shrink a little bit.
So you got 2 less spots for guys you haven't heard of and can't pronounce. Is this just going to be another USA Golf Tour? I mean, the next tournament's in Portland.
Road trip?
No. But, I mean, cool.
No.
But go do your thing. But look, I watch. So, but honestly, I didn't go back to the office and put this on my computer. Now, yesterday afternoon, I did have the PGA tournament on the office. You know, maybe it's easy to do my work and have the TV show me what I want to watch. But I'll watch the golf. Like, I'll watch this. Am I interested tomorrow coming down the stretch? Yeah. But, I mean, do I care that Henny Duplessis is 2 strokes behind Charles Schwartzel in some tournament in London? Like, honestly, the PGA Tour is more interesting to me. It is right now. Now, if it was Bryson and Phil or Patrick Reed and Sergio, yeah, maybe you got my attention. But are you going to watch tomorrow that Peter Ullin and Henny Duplessis and Charles Schwartzel are going down the stretch? Do you care? And do they pair them up tomorrow? Or is it shotgun? Do they pair them tomorrow? I don't even know how that's going to play.
I'm not sure. We'll see. Right. Pops up on my phone. If I see it on the social media,
yeah,
what happens?
I'm not going to lie though. I'm not surprised. Maybe I am. How popular the subject was amongst our callers this week. The correspondence that we got on Live Golf this week, and I know we went down the hall on Tuesday, and you guys could talk about golf more. Well, yeah, because it seems what people wanted to talk about golf this week, and we're fascinated by this. And this was second to, and I would even argue even more in some places, to the NBA Finals. This was the most talked about subject in the sports world this week. Is that even arguable?
Because it's something that's so different when it comes to
I know what you meant.
A USFL, XFL. Like, they can't. You're not taking Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers.
That's
like,
right.
you can't match that. This is something that they can match and exceed money to the stars.
What if you don't know a lot about golf too, and this gets you interested in golf? Like, what if then you
That's a
start?
good point.
Like, what if we obviously are big golf fans. We know a lot about golf. We know the golfers. We support the PGA. It's a big part of our lifestyle. What about people who don't necessarily are into golf or watch golf every week, but they're like, whoa, this is pretty interesting.
It is.
And then they start watching the PGA.
Well, it's interesting on
and they
so
start
many
gambling
fronts.
and they start getting into golf. Like, it's very, I think it'll bring in like a whole new
I think that's right.
group of golf fans.
Well, and it's interesting on a number of fronts, right? The people who are like, I can do what I want. You can't. The man can't tell me what I want to do. And I'll bet Bryson gets more fans because the man's he's sticking it to the man. Is he? All right. And then there's the people they're taking dirty Saudi money. Yeah, and you're putting dirty Saudi oil in your car, by the way. You know what you just filled up for $5 a gallon? It's filthy, dirty Saudi oil. But that's okay.
Depressing.
I got no choice. Well, they got a choice. They chose to take the millions. And tell me you wouldn't. I mean, go ahead. You can tell me that. Lobo Hobo says, waiting to hoe. We did. But that was in before. He came in early. Jeff, the $64,000 question. Will we ever actually get a good game in the 2022 playoffs? Is there going to be a game that goes down to the last possession? Typically, we get them every freaking night. We haven't had one in the last 2 rounds. We haven't. Not one. And I'm going to tell you, since we haven't, why would I believe we will? Yeah, maybe not.
Boston -4.
Boy, I mean, there's no reason to believe in the Dubs, right? So I'll take them. I'll take the Dubs in 4. You got tonight? Boston?
Boston.
Yeah. You got Boston too, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dan says Jeffrey, Juan Jose, Ana Maria, Addison, Austin, Jeffrey's mother, the dog, etc. All I hear about these new mercenaries that have been at like 15 different programs in the last 10 years. How has that hurt high school recruiting? There are only so many landing spots. P.S. Sounding good to hear from Nedward Abraham James Sr. It's hurt high school recruits. We've heard that a lot. There's a number of schools, a number of programs who just aren't recruiting high schools. And pick your sport.
But it seemed like there would be other schools that could then capitalize on that.
Arkansas State should have spots. Coastal Carolina should have spots. Bowling Green should have spots, yeah. New Mexico should have spots. Jeff says, Lynn, more roster movement coming, ? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the first time the Lady Lobos have had a full chamber of 15 scholarship players? I think it means 15 scholarship players since the Flanagan days. Obviously, couldn't keep that many girls happy, and some left every year. Now, who do we see leaving between now and September? I yield it to you.
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on any players leaving until it happens. That's not fair. It's to say that players that showed up to practice this week that are practicing, that you see that on social media, like, welcome back, and be like, oh, and yeah, that one's leaving.
Everybody's not running from competition.
I haven't heard anything through the grapevine either.
Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men on come your way at 4, and then you get Isotopes Baseball from Chihuahua Land. They'll be down in El Paso today. Great week, Adrian. Thank you for all your work. Amory, terrific week. Whatever it is you've got going today that you got all dressed up for. Went out and did your hair. Got all did up.
Thank you.
Oh, either that or you're listening to the advice you're taking. You got to dress different to go to work.
No.
That's what it is. That's who you're listening to.
It's an exciting meeting.
All right, good luck with that. Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will wrap at you Monday morning at 7 a.m.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1.
Takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.